group of students just kind of flag us down, and so we stop and like, hey, what's going on? What you need? And they tell us about this guy. It's got dreadlocks, white guy. Looks to be about in his 30s, but he's walking around barefoot in a t-shirt, and it's about November, December. It's cold, you know, it's plenty cold that year. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for him. They said he's looking for the Dixon Center, so we kind of ride up there, don't find him, and we're riding around looking for him. So we circle around to come back up the street, see if we can get out and talk with this guy and figure out what's going on. Because if you're out barefoot at 3 a.m. and in a t-shirt when it's that cold, something's wrong, right? So we park right here because we see him walking down the middle of the street on that side coming towards us. And he gets to that other pedestrian crosswalk just up the road and stops right in the middle of the street and starts staring at us. And I was like, oh, great. So I rolled down one and said, hey, buddy. And he goes, I reckon you're looking for me. And I was like, yes, we are. What are you doing? And so he walks up and he says, I'm looking for my mom and dad. And I told Seth, I said, go ahead and call the police. I said, there ain't nobody at 3 a.m. walking around barefooted at 30 years old looking for their mom and dad. The dude was clearly messed up. And then the dude spaces out and he goes, man, there are buildings everywhere. And Ethan said, yeah, there are.
Thank you, Balcon.
And he goes, no, they're just like growing out of the ground. and Ethan goes, well, it seems that way as fast as they put them up. And the guy just looks at him like he's crazy. I'm like, Ethan, he literally is seeing these buildings come out of the ground right now. And the guy goes, you get it, man. You get it. And I was like, how about we have a seat and just wait for somebody else to come help you out, okay?
We always get the, when we pull up or something, oh, you're here to arrest somebody or get somebody in trouble, and that's not necessarily what we're there for. I think the biggest stereotype is definitely due to parking. You know, we're just out to get students, and that's not necessarily the case. We're just trying to make sure people park in a safe manner and try to avoid accidents, really, is what we try to do.
Mall cop. I've had that one yelled to me, like my first day here, working here, it was like, hey, mall cop! And I was like, and somebody said, hey, Paul, was it Paul Blart? Yeah. And I was like, thumbs up, buddy. I'm looking out for you, man.
Do you know what Twitter is?
Yes.
Okay.
I am old.
Are you
I am
from
old,
dinosaur land? Okay. So here's a tweet from a student. Nice. Before.
Wait, is this one of these things where we read the
yeah, it's just one, but it's a funny tweet.
They spelled safety wrong.
So you discredited it right there.
I discredited it. I'm sorry. I bet campus SAFT can't sleep this week because they're so excited to start giving out tickets.
Tickets today.
Personally, the thing that I dislike the most is handing out tickets because, like all of you guys, I was a student here. And I know what it's like when there seems to be limited parking. But if you actually look at the, and there's a professor that does a much better job of this than I do, but there actually is enough parking on campus if people would follow the rules. So it's just people don't, so therefore, and people, we get this argument all the time. They're like, well, there's not, and I'm like, I know it's tough, but if other people would do it, then you would have your spots to park in.
In a day, we probably right around 150 tickets, somewhere in there. Freshmen typically are scared enough that they try to park where they're supposed to, and then they realize
they don't know how things
on.
roll around here yet. So
right.
Like
They don't realize, oh, I'll pay for those later and just park wherever I want to kind of set up.
Okay.
A couple of guys have had some tickets ripped up in their face, so.
Wow.
Nice.
So,
I think it's a different stigma from like when I was a freshman here because it was campus safety, and I really didn't see a lot of them even on campus. You know, you saw golf carts and occasionally they just kind of driving around. I think once they got the boost from safety to security and you started seeing more like enforcement vehicles, I really had a step up of respect just because I felt more like, as a student, I see more of a force that's enforcing the campus and protecting students. But I'd say before that, it wasn't necessarily the best perspective because just like everyone else thinks, it's just tickets. So it's really just like the ticket mongers, like they're going around just writing tickets for everyone. So
I don't personally know why the change was made, but I think, in my own opinion, it's kind of an image thing in some ways. You know, students, and me as having been a student when it was campus safety, I think students view that differently than they do with the word security, even though it's just a word, but it's just the way it is, I think. I know the reputation that was told me was,
so you
oh,
never
they're just out
broke
to
the
get
rule.
students. Oh no, I got 2 tickets. I
The,
got 2.
a captain told me a long time ago, when you show up to the scene, they're expecting a professional, somebody with answers. They're not expecting somebody that's perfect, but they're expecting somebody that's willing to help and willing to lead and show them the way. Being able to, it changed a lot. You know, it's probably, as corny as it sounds as well, it's probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. I can say if I would have stayed home in Georgia, I wouldn't be who I am today. You know how some people say that they have that Lee story that brings them here?
Yeah.
And how they just kind of fumbled across it and fell into being here. It was kind of one of those situations for me as well. And to be honest with you, I couldn't be more grateful.
Say